welcome this evening. Hey, I'm so excited on this podcast. We have author Deborah Morgan, author of Directed Arrows, talking about how to be a stronger, better, more confident mother. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. Wonderful. How are you this evening?
Good. I just wanted you to come on tonight. You've been manning our Proverbs 31 Winter Woman page, and we know who the Winter Woman is. She's the Proverbs 31 woman in the Bible, described as a phenomenal character. She's strong, she's diligent, she's shrewd, she's cunning, she's gentle, she speaks with wisdom, she's kind, and her countenance is love. She's just a businesswoman. She's has a strong mind and heart. I mean, she's the woman that really has it going on, right? She's the one
Right.
that's truly all together, that we as Christian women, we're really striving to become better. So we put these podcasts out so that we can just help and encourage and motivate, say a word of inspiration to women that are trying to grasp a little further on becoming a stronger, better, kind of round table, kitchen table talk, if you would. Proverbs woman, the example of the kind of woman that the Lord would have us be. So tonight we're going to talk about motherhood. Let's talk about that, Sister Deborah.
Well, first of all, I've been a mother for 38 years now, so kind of have a little knowledge under the belt. So,
Yes.
yes, but before we get into our conversation tonight, I'm a firm believer in when you know the definition of a word, it brings clarity to what you're trying to understand, or even tonight, what we're talking about. So, I want to give this definition of empowered since we're talking about empowering mothers and empowering women. And to be empowered means to have the authority, confidence, and the ability to take control over one's life, to make decisions and act independently. This can also involve gaining the necessary knowledge and skill and the confidence to take charge and have effective, positive change in your personal life, in your family life, and in your professional life. So I just wanted to put that out there because you mentioned the key word confident, and to be empowered as a mother, you have to be confident to know. You don't have to know everything, but you have to be confident to know that God chose you to be the mother of the beautiful children, whether they're biological, foster, or adopted children. You were chosen by God because, most importantly, He has confidence in you. And that was something that I discovered even as a young mother, that
Mhm.
I didn't know everything, but I had wise mentors, my mother, my grandmother, the pastor, wife of our church, and a host of other older women
Yes.
to instruct me. And so that's really what I want to be to others because, like I said, 38 years, you learn a lot. I have three daughters with three different personalities, and we talked about that before.
Yeah.
But to have confidence in yourself, to know that you don't have to know everything, you're not going to know everything. And that's why I believe in the power of the village. You know, that African proverb, it takes
Yes.
a village to raise a child. That is so true. But you have to be selective of those individuals that are a part of your village.
So,
And
so, so let me say this, and that is that you said many things there, but in our conversation tonight, one of the things that's so important is understanding that God gave the child, number one,
Mhm.
and gave the child so that that mother could influence the child. And so God already knows in advance what we're capable of.
Yes.
What I know, and being a personal development coach and personal empowerment coach and minister, I think a lot of times what happens is people just don't believe they're capable of so much more. So much more. It's like, God grows our capacity all the time. When you're given a new opportunity for anything, that's God giving you the opportunity to grow your capacity to go to that next level. And so that is absolutely paramount. And when it comes to children, so many things. You have the kids, you're trying to figure it out. No man is an island. It takes a village. It takes a village with everything. We can do things. I'm constantly moving, constantly going, constantly lots of different things happening. It seems like all at once, right? And what
Mm-hmm.
happens is you need to have the village to support you. You
Yes.
need to have the village of individuals, of wise counsel, to help guide you, to help decipher, to help go through, what right decision to make at this time, that you're not just hanging out nilly willy, kind of on your own string, like out there. You want to make sure that you have a village of wise people that's, what, this is the best way to do this. This is the best way to kind of go about this. This is the best way to, and even in that collaboration, it's like synergy. Like we're having synergy tonight. When we talk about something, when we create, you and I create a whole nother mindset, right? A whole nother
Mhm.
energy on this subject because we're talking about it. So the individuals that are listening, it's like they're deciphering, like, oh, I'm grabbing a little of this, grabbing a little of that. It creates a whole new energy,
Mhm.
you know? And
Yeah.
so what's amazing about that, and I remember, so we're old school, right? Kitchen table, round tables. My mom, sat around the table with her sister, or maybe another good friend, and they talked about a lot of things that young people at that point weren't privy to. Like your
Mhm.
mom, sat around the table and discussed, what needs to happen and, how to handle certain things. And that's so important now. And you can't get everything from, just maybe your complete inner circle, because sometimes your inner circle doesn't have all the knowledge necessary. You have to sometimes go out of that inner circle and pull other mentors in. So I love what you said about the village, because it's so necessary. Psychologically, we need a village to help keep us together so we're not going crazy.
Yeah, and we need to make
It's like
sure,
how to do it.
yeah, and we need to make sure that our village are like-minded people
Yes.
because you know, you don't want to include someone in your village that does not have the same biblical philosophy that you have,
That's
or
right.
the same ideas that you have in raising your children
Hmm.
biblically, because everybody may have their perspective, but you want to surround yourself and include those in your village that are like-minded. And that's the key part to me, is
Yes.
that we don't think the same, but we have the same foundational principles. And that is what's so important, because
Yes.
everybody has an opinion, of how to raise children or what you should do. But you want to make sure the wise counsel that you're listening to is based on biblical principles, which your life is founded upon. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Because
right.
there's, like the scripture says, there's many voices out there. Oh my
Yes.
gosh, there are many
Yes.
voices out there.
Yes. Yes.
And everybody has, have we speak from our experiences, and definitely our experiences can help, add wisdom to somebody's life. But the key point in the village is having like-minded people that you trust, and
Yes.
that is a key word: trust. Like, I have a part of my village friends that I've had for over 30 years, and they were my younger teenagers. Now they're adults and have their own children, and they now pour into my adult children, because I know that they love them and they trust them, and they're going to say pretty much the same thing that I would say. Just
Mhm.
if my kids went to them for advice, they would say what I would say in their work, in their way. You
Yes,
understand
of
what I'm
course.
saying? So
Totally.
that part is vital, when creating the village. But I know we only have a limited amount of time tonight, but I did want to go to Proverbs 31, verse 27,
Mhm.
which says, she watches over the activities of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness.
Yes.
My goodness, we could take that so, so
So
many
many.
ways. But to me today, which is so important. I've seen this on the news so much, and I was thinking about after our conversation, this could be something that we could address when it says she watches over the activities of her household.
Mhm.
Parents, moms, paying attention to what your children are watching and listening to, and on their digital devices. You have to be on top of that.
Yes.
I just saw so many stories today. One, that the legislators are trying to legislate putting warning labels on like Instagram, TikTok, because so many things are going on with the children and these digital devices. And some schools here in Georgia are now possibly going to ban cell phones during the school time. And so when I read this about how she watches over the activities, not just giving a child a digital device, to go, I need me time, go get the iPad. You know, you can do that if you put parental controls on your digital devices,
Mhm.
and even giving time that at the dinner table, there should be no phones. We are losing our children because we're not watching over their activities. And I love that this Proverbs 31 woman, she takes control. She's diligent. She's
Yes.
responsible because
Yes.
she knows how we talked about last time. The children that God gave me, they are a reward and an inheritance from Him.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, we're accountable to Him for the gifts that He gave us. So I see you want to jump in there. Go ahead.
Well, I love what you said. I love that scripture reference, and I love that. You know, I think even more so, like the empowerment that you started with, understanding that we are empowered to control. We're empowered to have the authority. We're empowered to be the overseer. What came to my mind when you were talking was like a hen. She's over, she kind of sits on the eggs. And then even when they're hatched, they're kind of real close around her. You know what I mean? As they're developing. And it's like a lot of times, what we see in today's society is that let me just hand off my kids to the television or the iPad, and we have to make sure. But empowering the moms, empowering the mentors, empowering the aunties to know you can take control. You can make
Absolutely.
sure that you are in authority over that child's atmosphere, making sure that you're in authority over, what they're seeing, what they're looking at, so that you're the biggest influence and not coming when they come home, not, oh, all of a sudden Johnny's supposed to do. You have the authority because it's been given to you.
Yeah.
So I think that's a very important part. I mean, there are so many things now that we could certainly touch on, but I think that understanding that women, we are empowered to raise kids. God gave us that gift. We're
Mhm.
empowered to be influencers. We're empowered to influence the right way. And, kids do what they see, not what you say,
And,
right?
and the parent should be the loudest voice, the
Yes,
strongest influencer in the life of their child. Because if you don't take that place, that position, somebody else will, whether it's a
that's right.
friend or the culture, things that they
Yeah.
see on TV. And I just want to go back to something you said earlier. As a mother, you have to realize that you are fully equipped with everything that you need because God put everything already inside of us before we came to the
Yes,
earth. We just don't know that we're equipped to that with these things until we get into a situation. And so
that's
until you
right.
become a mom, you don't really fully understand that you are equipped to be an administrator, a doctor, a nurse. I mean, moms wear so
Yes.
many hats
A
that you
disciplinary,
are
a teacher, an
you
educator,
are
all of
you
that.
are the great. Yes, educator, you are your child's first teacher. Should be your child's greatest advocate. You should be your child's greatest cheerleader. You know, behind every child should be that parent who is confident in themselves and also showing the child you can do. If I can do all things,
Yeah,
teaching them what the scripture says, I can do all things, you can
that's
do
right.
all things. Finding
Right.
what matters to them and giving them the confidence that they need to be successful because they're watching you, and teaching them how to become resilient because we don't get everything that we need in this life. And so, how do we teach our children to be resilient? We teach them to be resilient by our actions. They're watching us when we, as moms, when we suffer disappointments or setbacks. How do we
Mhm.
bounce back?
Right. That's
They're
right.
watching us.
Yeah.
We are their first teachers on everything. We talked about this last time, that the mom sets the tone of the home. And
Yeah.
that's, to me, that's one of the greatest joys and motivation, is
Mhm.
that you can make a test of it. Like if you just pretend to wake up grouchy one day and watch how your children respond
Right. That's
versus
right.
you waking up, not saying
Yeah.
that you have to be cheery, cheery, cheery all day. Although I was that kind of mother, I would wake my kids up singing to them because I wanted to start their day off nice.
Yes.
And so now when I hear them talk about me, they say, remember, mom, how mom used to wake us up singing every day? Oh, I hated that. But
Yeah.
guess what? You went to school happy,
That's
joyous.
right.
We
That's right.
set the tone, the atmosphere. So empowering mothers to know that you are the key to the success of your household, and
Mhm.
understanding you are fully equipped. You can do this. And
Yeah.
guess what? At the end of the day, you will do this. Because when they're babies, you don't have a choice. They didn't ask to be here. So we have to take our Calgon baths, go wherever you can get it in, fit it in.
Calm down and refocus and focus, right?
And
Calm down,
yes,
focus and focus. That's exactly it. Yeah.
but
That's
enjoy
it.
the process because they're
Mhm.
not going to be little long.
That's
And
right.
then as they're growing, you grow.
Yeah.
I had to learn how to, when your kids go to college, how do you learn to parent adult children now? Because they've
Mhm.
left the home, they've been exposed to different things, and then they come back for the summer, and you're dealing with a whole different mindset
Right.
because they've been, independent, and
Mhm.
now you have to figure out how to maneuver and navigate these new experiences that they've had, along with the rules of the house. Oh, we could just keep going and
And you know
going.
what? I think we need to make that a separate show because I love that
Mhm.
because that's really important. I mean, at this stage in life, most of us are having the kids leave the home. The
Mhm.
kids are already, they're leaving the home or they're about to leave the home or they're already left the home. But you're right. When they're home, how do we navigate that? How do we communicate? That's a big communication topic. So yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. Absolutely. This has been awesome. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. And like I said, kind of sharing with us throughout the day on the Proverbs 31 Winter Woman group on Facebook and Instagram that just helps to create a much sounder, wiser, stronger, capable woman of God. So thank
Mhm.
you so much, Deborah. And we're going to look forward to hopefully having you back next week. So we're going to have your information too. Folks, get online, grab her book, have her come out and speak for you. I mean, she's an awesome speaker. She'll come out and do a session at your church. Listen, we're
Mhm.
putting great content out because we want to be a blessing. We're determined to be an asset in your life. So listen, go out and create the grandest vision of the biggest version of your beautiful, beautiful life. I love you. God bless you. Thank you, Deb, for coming on. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Have a good night. Bye bye.